Hi, everybody. Welcome to Faces in the Field. My name is Adam Darengowski. I work with the communications team here at Miller Pipeline. Faces in the Field is, of course, where we highlight the efforts of one of our teammates making it happen out on the job site. Today, that teammate is George Capria. He's a safety coordinator out in our East region. George, thanks for coming on Faces in the Field.
You're welcome. My pleasure, Adam.
Well, first of all, I like to get everyone's origin story. So can you just kind of describe, A, how you got into the construction space, but then how you kind of found your way into the safety side of things as well?
Okay, we're going to go way back. We're going to go back 40 years ago plus. My father was involved. My grandfather was involved. So it was just a natural thing after I got out of the military. I went right into construction. Yeah.
And then at what point did you kind of transition to the safety side of things and begin focusing your efforts on that?
Well, after years in the field, starting out as a laborer, operating equipment, driving a truck, going up through the ranks, it was post-COVID actually, and we were pushing work. I was prior to this, I was pushing work. I was a superintendent, and all of a sudden, the backlog that's usually in New York City, there's plenty of work, wasn't there. So to consolidate better and to downsize, uh, they asked some people to make a lateral move. They asked me to get into safety, which prior to that, prior to becoming a super, I was at a union hall. I was a business agent for one of the labor unions in New York, and I did assist in teaching different classes, job site safety, equipment safety, and so on. So it wasn't foreign to me, but I never looked at it as it was something that I was going to put my focus on. But post COVID, as I mentioned, there wasn't a big backlog of work, so I made the lateral move. I moved into the safety field.
And now looking back on it, so 5, 6 years now, are you happy that you made that move?
I am. I am. In the
On
beginning, I was a little skeptical. You have to remember when I was a young man, you're going back late 70s, early 80s, we would wear a baseball cap on the highway when we were running jackhammers. And the first time I had to wear a helmet, or a bunch of us had to wear a helmet, it almost caused a big fist fight on the highway. And that's a true story. But now there's such an emphasis on safety and along with that, not just safety, but compliance. Um, I see the importance of it. It's interesting. I jumped into it prior to merging with Miller. Uh, Mario Giacovino provided a tremendous opportunity for me. So I jumped in both feet and I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. It's rewarding. It's important. And I think it's just brought my whole career um, where I've touched on a little bit of everything now. And I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah. You mentioned the East region, they do a lot of work in New York proper, in the city. There's a lot of things you have to look out for. When you're going to a job site, what are you kind of emphasizing to guys that they need to really pay attention to when they're out working in the city?
Okay. Well, it's really two things. Um, well, three. First is safety with compliance. You don't have safety. And we have our primary customer here is Con Edison. Um, they're very serious about job site safety. So we stress when we first pull up on a job what we call the low hanging fruit. And usually if you show up on a site and that's not up to what it should be, you know that there's going to be bigger issues down the road. You'll pull up, you want to see the setup set up properly, wheel chocks, everyone wearing their PPE and wearing it correctly. And then you're going to ask for the job briefing, see if it's thorough, that everyone's signed. So that's important there. But also, too, there was an old saying, and I keep going back, but I'm going to go back about 40 years. An old timer told me once, he said, "Hey, listen to me. You come to work with your skin, you go home with your skin." And there's a lot more to that than just the simple words. It was, in a way, profound, if you will. right? Very, very important. But yeah, a lot of people count on you outside of work. Your family counts on you to come home. So very important.
Yeah, wise words indeed. Speaking along those lines, now that you're in a position where you kind of have to get people to buy into the whole idea of safety culture, what has been the best way that you found to get people to value it a little more?
Unfortunately, and it's nothing has to happen at Miller, right?
Hmm.
You're always picking up a newspaper in New York and you're reading some things that are bad, but some things that are just tragic. They're horrific accidents, and you see it and you present it, and it's almost within a day. We could have it on a screen and just show them. We'll do a PowerPoint, and it's the PowerPoint's full of actual photos of what happened. We have the documentation, and they see it. And who I find that are the most at risk are your brand new guys who are totally unaware, but also too you're not just veterans, but you're veterans with a very little bit of time left, and they're almost out the door, and maybe they're thinking already of Myrtle Beach in Florida, and they kind of lose their focus. But when you see what could happen, what I tell all the new guys is look around this yard, look around the barn. Everything you're looking at can either hurt you very bad or kill you. So you have to have your head in the game. You have to be completely focused, and really safety's not an option. You're either going to comply or this isn't for you.
Yeah. I'm curious what you find maybe the most rewarding about what you do every day. Is it getting that guy to buy in? Is it making progress? Like what drives you to keep doing it, and what do you find the most rewarding?
I'll tell you what, it is that exactly when you find everyone's buying in and you see like what I try to stress during a safety meeting is listen, from a veteran super to a foreman to an operator, truck driver, a laborer that's 2 months in the business. If you see something, step to the plate, call it timeout. And when I see the younger guys or the newer people buying in and I see them step to the plate, that's very rewarding. But what's also rewarding are the old timers that will say, oh, that's not how we used to do it back in 92 or whatever. And they didn't like it in the meeting. But now you hear them in a meeting and they're injecting. They're interjecting to what I'm saying, and they're pulling up maybe a memory from 20 years ago, a job site experience that wasn't so great, and they're adding to it. So they're buying into it along with the newer guys that are becoming proactive themselves. That's rewarding.
Yeah. I'm curious if your immense background and experience in the field, how much do you feel that that's helped you maybe get through to some of those guys that are both new, but also the older guys who've done it that way for so long? Does that help you get them to kind of buy in a little bit?
Well, Adam, I think that's my number one tool, right? You can read, look, books and manuals are great, but guys can see through if you're not telling them the truth or you're telling them a story. When I tell them of a past experience or maybe how I did something, how I performed a task, um, they can tell when you're not being so forthcoming or you're telling them the truth. And so there's a trust that you build. And so, yeah, experience, my past experience, definitely hands down, that's my number one tool. Yeah.
I'm curious if, let's say, someone wants to be in your position in several years. What would you tell them to focus on in terms of skill building that they could utilize in a position like yours to be successful?
Okay. I'm a big believer in attention to detail, right? It's all in the small details. If you pay attention to detail every day, and both of my sons are in the business, and I'll tell them it's from the time you wake up in the morning and just your little preparation, right? You're not going to just roll out of bed, uh, look like you've been blown out of a cannon, grab a coffee and run. You want to Go into your day, focus, right? Prepare properly on your way to work, whatever you're doing. You want to mentally prepare. And then when you get to work, you're not just going to wing it, right? You want your job folder. You do a proper job briefing. I really believe it's preparation, and beyond the preparation is attention to detail.
Absolutely. We have a program around here called What I Live For. It just reminds us why we come to work every day, right? So I'm curious, George, what do you live for?
Oh, well, well, here it is. You asked, so I'm not going to deny my family and my Lord and Savior.
Oh, two good things. Well, I like to finish every Faces in the Field with some rapid fire questions. You just say what comes first to your mind. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, very good. Let's go.
All right. So, what piece of PPE do you spot people without the most?
Respirator.
Oh, that's a good
The
one.
paper, the paper mask. I want to specify. I'm not talking that we're working on a subway project, we're underground, and they need a full face. No, it's if they're maybe chopping out a flag of sidewalk and they don't have it on. Prior to this, if I could get off track, I was in a local union where I was the business agent, as I mentioned, Local 29, and we basically did a lot of drilling. In New York is mainly rock, so we drilled rock, we broke a lot of concrete, and you'd see the old timers come to a union meeting, and half of them had the oxygen tank behind, bringing it into a union meeting. And I always stress to the guys, you don't feel it now, but you will 20, 30 years from now. Wear the rest. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, I totally get that. Favorite season to work in? Are you spring, summer, winter, or fall guy?
Well, I'd have to say work-wise,
Yeah.
spring and fall. It's the perfect weather. It's just perfect. But I'll take the heat over the cold any day now at this age.
Yeah, not sweating, not freezing, right?
Like,
So summer's almost here. What's your favorite thing to cook on the grill?
a steak.
Oh, love it. What's your favorite cut?
Well, it depends. If it's just for me, I'll do a New York strip, right?
Love it.
But my wife and I, we have a couple great places that we go to now. Now that our kids are grown, we'll sit at the bar and we'll have a drink and we'll split a porterhouse for two. So
That's lovely. That sounds great. And then finally, what's your favorite core value and why? Is it safety, quality, commitment, or reputation?
that's a tough one. It's always safety first,
Yep.
right? But the other ones, they fall into place. If you have safety, you need compliance. Well, not that compliance is a core, but safety, compliance, quality, it's our brand, right? And we're out there every day, and I tell our guys this, even with our housekeeping, which could become a safety issue, that's our brand. Let's respect it. Let's take pride in it. We're representing a lot more people than what's in the Bronx barn here, or even in the Eastern region. I told them, no, gentlemen, we're from coast to coast, and we have a lot of people that we're out there representing.
That's fantastic. Well, George, thank you so much for coming on, and thank you for what you do every day. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Adam. Thank you for the opportunity. My pleasure.
Absolutely. His name is George Capria. He's a safety coordinator out in the Bronx, New York. If you want to work with George and the team out on the East Coast, be sure to visit MillerPipelineCareers.com. Also, be sure to follow us on social media. We post jobs, updates, industry updates, everything there, so be sure to check it out. This has been Faced in the Field. We will see you next month.